Hi everyone, this is Mithun here. Today we are going to learn about how to install Kubernetes on an Ubuntu system. So to install Ubuntu system, we are trying to do it in a cloud system, that is on an AWS infrastructure. So first of all, we will go ahead and set up an AWS Ubuntu uh, operating system with the 20.04 machine, and in that we will go to update your transport, update your transport HTTP, and you would also download the cloud packages using a JPG check. And once we install the JPG check, we will go ahead and try to run this command, that is Xenial main, which also will get installed. Once the system is ready to install, we will go ahead and kubelet, Kubeadm, and kubectl and docker. So all these files we will go ahead and install. Once the installation process is done, then we will go ahead and check uh, to create a master node. So we are there are different ways we can install Kubernetes. We are using Kubeadm init to install as a master node. So once the Kubeadm install is installed, then we will go ahead and create a .kube file. In that we will check the kubeconfig file, and we give the permission to kubeconfig file. So once we update with the master information to check the nodes, we will just say kubectl get nodes and check the pods kubectl get pod -a. So it will give the information about the pods. So for any Kubernetes infrastructure, we should have a network. So here we are using Wave network. So to get the kubectl the Wave network get installed, so we will say kubectl apply -f, and we will run the GitHub repository. From the GitHub repository, we will run the daemon set kubernetes.yaml file to run the wave.daemon set file, and we will get that installation done. So we will check Kubernetes pods, and we'll also create namespace.dev. So we'll create a dev space, and we'll try to see if we can install nginx image, and we will see describe pods and see if we can get an output port. So it is obvious that on the master node, if you install everything, we get an issue of taint issue. That is nothing but it is not able to connect to the network. So to get the taint issue fixed, we have a kube get nodes JSON JQ item spec taints. So it will detect if there is any taint issues, and we will run this command kube taint nodes all nodes role Kubernetes IO master, and to create a service node port for that nginx TCP 8080. So we will go ahead and create that fix for taint issues. So let's go ahead and create a AWS infrastructure. So let me go ahead and launch my AWS infrastructure here. Here we are going to use Ubuntu operating system. So this is going to be my Cube Master 01. I'm going to give this name as Master 01, and I'm going to use Ubuntu operating system. So in Ubuntu, I am going to use 20.04. That's a free tier I'm going to use. All right, and it is going to be T2 medium, because we should have minimum requirements to run your. So we should have at least have T2 medium to run your. That is at least 4 gigs of memory you should have, and 2 CPUs. That's a minimum requirement. You should have it on your system. So I'm going to use my key pair, that is a test, and it's going to be, I'm going to open my port here, So if you want to use um, let's say if you want to use Kubernetes cluster, we should open port number 65,000, TCP on 65,000 and above. And let's say I'm going to take a space of 25, 25 gigs of space I'm going to use for this installation. So let me go ahead and launch my instance. Meanwhile, I'm launching my instance. Let me open my git bash terminal, git bash. So I open my git bash terminal and let me open. Okay, so my git bash terminal is ready, and now I have to navigate to my PEM keys. So POWL, my PEM keys on series place in downloads D drive. I've updated my PEM keys. So let me copy my SSH key. Okay, instance. Let me check my instance. Okay, I have my cube master 01. It is running. So let me just click on connect. All right, let me copy paste my key here. Okay, so if I press yes, I will be able to connect to my Ubuntu operating system. Sudo -I am right now in the root user. So CLEAR clear. So that means I had got a fresh screen right now. So as per our requirement, so we just need to run this the first command, get apt apt install. So let me go ahead and update that information. So it is getting updated. The system is getting all the packages required to run your Kubernetes on your system. All right, so it is while it is getting updated. So I'll also copy my next command, that is curl package cloud. So Kubernetes is actually derived by Google. So I need to download it's done the Google JPG check, and let me copy these files. So it's going to so that is also updated. So it's going to Kubernetes email.main. It's a very important command while operating kubectl, that is Kubernetes. So let me just go ahead and update and get update. It will go and update all the packages. Once the package is done, so let me go ahead and install Kubeadm and kubectl. So it's in the process of installation. Kubeadm init will initialize your operating system as your or the node that we are trying to use. It will make it as a master node. So let me just wait for the process to get over. It's trying to install all the Docker informations and kubectl services. So everything is set. So let me make this system as my master machine. So it says Kubeadm init, and we're trying to do the configuration settings here. This might take minutes or two depending upon the speed of your internet connection, and you can also perform the action in behalf beforehand using the Kubeadm configuration pull image. So it's going to do the pull the information. So So whatever the necessary files which is needed to run your kubectl, kubeconfig file, all this information is getting updated APIs. So you would see that API kubelet client interfaces, friend kube proxies, health checks, etcd. So everything it has been done. So to start your cluster, you need to run the following. So we can copy this command. That is, I'm going to create a .q file, make dir cube. So it has been created. So I'm asking for a kubectl file here. So it has also been done. Sudo, and I run this one, it is ready. So if I say kubectl get node, so it says that your kubectl is ready, but not ready. Your status of your node is not ready because you don't have a network. So that has been done. So we will get back to our next step. That is we created. So we have to go ahead and apply our wave network. So let me just go ahead and create a wave network. So daemon set app wave network is created. So let me just check my nodes. So kubectl nodes or kubectl kubectl get pods minus a. So you would see that kube system pods which is necessary for your master, which is created here, etcd kube API server, kube control manager, kube proxy, and kube class scheduler and wave network. It is everything is start and it is ready. So let me type kube ctl get nodes. So now you would understand that the masters, once you install your network, it has been ready. Okay, so to test your application is working fine. So let me just create a kubectl name space. Okay, I'm going to create a namespace called dev. I've just created a namespace. So if I say kubectl uh, get pods minus a minus n, okay, no problem. So let me just the dev has been created. Kubectl create deployment nginx image nginx. So let me just, so it shows that nginx has been created. So you would see that it has been pending because it is created, but your pod image has been created, but it is pending because you will say describe the pod. So you want to say what is the issue, how we can actually find out what is the issue pod, and you'll copy the name of the pod. So we'll say this is the pod name. So we're going to say inside what is exactly the issue. So it will say warning scheduling, that is so usually on a Kubernetes cluster, default scheduler 01 applicable had attained that the pod has intolerant. So it understands that, when we are working on a Kubernetes cluster, your master will be working, and you also need to configure your nodes. So we have only installed our master node, we haven't installed any slave machine. So to get out of, so to make your master machine as your slave as well, so you have to run a couple of applications here. So now I've just run the application. So it is shows, okay, let's see. Okay. Kubectl taint nodes minus minus all node role dot kubernetes dot io slash master minus. So there's a command. I have just updated that command here, chase untaint. So now you would see that the Nginx is trying to create a container and it shows running. So it means with the master node itself, we are actually trying to create your application here. So let's say kubectl get svc. So you have Kubernetes, you have default. So right now you have Kubernetes svc. So let me check with Kubernetes service pod svc node pod nginx. So we have to find the nginx node pod nginx node pod nginx minus minus tcp 80 colon 80. It's not showing up file, so we need to check kubectl get pods minus a kubectl get pods minus a. So we have one which is working, that is a nginx file here. So we have to find what is the default port number to get access into this particular nginx. So let me just check. If I take my IP address here, instance IP address, if I'm able to see any pod. So I'll copy this one, paste it here. Sorry. Instance summary, IP address, and paste here. Let me see what we can see. There is, so here we have how to get the information regarding this pod. Let me just copy service. So let me just copy that. Okay, kubectl space get edit space svc, and I need to type my name of this. So let me just see get svc first. So there is no service file. So here if I type kubectl edit space namespace is equal to default. F. Okay, so we are actually trying to see the default. This is service is equal to 1 and namespace service Kubernetes, and you have something and it's cluster IP. So if I type this one instead of cluster IP, if I type this one as my port number, so I'm not going to do that. So let me just quit, escape, colon Q. Yeah, so edit cancel. So if everything is working fine, I can also give this port number here. That is, if I give my service port number, what port number I should be able to get connected. I should be able to get connected to my Nginx. So that we will study in the next session. So hope you are able to understand how we can actually install Kubeadm and make your master service as your uh, worker node itself, and install your wave network in your system. So as per we have installed Kubernetes install AWS infrastructure. We made it as a master node here, and we have copied all the information, tried to create it, and we also installed a wave network, and we removed the taint issue from the master, and we made it as a worker node. So in the next session, we will learn more about how we can go about how we can actually deploy a Kubernetes infrastructure in this particular mission. And in the next session, we'll also see how we can actually connect a slave node or a worker node to your master node. So I hope you're able to understand up till here. And thanks for watching, and you have a great day.